Alright, Transformer fans, once again it's the one and only Optibotimus coming at you with another video review. And on today's episode, thanks to the absolutely incredible support from all of my Optibotimus Plus channel members, especially those of you that are on the screen right now, we're going to be taking a look at the new Transformers Studio Series Voyager class Rhinox, as he appeared in the Transformers Rise of the Beast film. Now, I have no idea why this figure has taken so long to get to us, but here he is, finally. For the package, much like all the Studio Series figures, you do have this Transformers text with the Generation logo. You can see that this broke. Now, I did find this at my local Target, so again, people can probably play with that and damage the package. I don't really care about the packaging, so that doesn't bug me that much. But you got a gorgeous image of Rhinox in his beast mode. You can see that he's the 103rd figure in this series. Really, 103 figures? Wow. Come around to the side, you got an up-close image of him in his Rhino mode. He's a Voyager class. The other side here has a really cool artistic image of him in his robot mode. You got the Autobot logo as that's kind of connected to the backdrop. Come around to the back. As I mentioned, you do get the backdrop, and you can see that he transforms in 29 steps, and you got images of him in his robot and his beast mode. The top section here just says Transformers Rise of the Beasts. But for the packaging on this guy, that's about it. So without further ado, let's get him out here and see how cool he actually is. Alright, and here we have the new Voyager class Rhinox from Transformers Rise of the Beasts, opened up out of his packaging and in his Rhino mode. And, you know, he's okay. I definitely think that they could have done a little bit better with him. There's some aspects that look really good, but some that just really kind of are fairly lackluster. One of the things that kind of bugged me is his weapon storage. So you have this, which can kind of be like this little missile sort of thing, which looks great, you know, nice painted detail and everything on there. And then you can bring this around, and now he has like a giant hammer weapon. As you can see, it pegs in here for storage. I really feel like they could have done I don't know how they could have done it, but when you come to this underside here, you got this big giant gap right here. I feel like they could have made it where this could have slid in and like sat there or something. Just hide it a little bit better. I mean, there's like no hole through here. I mean, there's kind of little gaps through there, but not really anything that fits that. And they're all kind of off on an angle. I don't know if you can kind of see that there. I just feel like that they could have engineered that a little bit better. I mean, when you're looking at them like straight on, it looks fine. The side looks okay to a degree. It's just that underside that is kind of ugly, and most people aren't going to store their figures like that, where you're going to see the hole there. So, like I said, it's not bad, but I think that they could have done a little bit better, especially since this is a Studio Series figure for the most part. The rest of them looks pretty good. It's a combination of gray plastics, silver paint applications, primarily like here on his robot mode shoulder and everything. I don't know. I just feel like it's not all that cohesive, really. And to a degree, I feel like he's kind of a modified version of that Voyager class Cheetor, which, believe it or not, I have no idea where he is. That's gonna actually kind of annoy me that I can't find him. But I love Rhinox. Rhinox is probably my favorite Beast Wars character, and I feel just like in the movie, he was really underappreciated. I don't even think he had a speaking line in it. So he was the Rise of the Beast version of Jolt, except for the fact that Rhinox is a considerably more popular character. And the toy is just kind of lackluster, I feel. For comparison, the only one that I could find is Air Razor. And Air Razor was a massive bird in the film, so it kind of makes sense. And then just bringing in, I still have not found the Rise of the Beast Optimus, but I'm going to use this one for the most part. Here is Optimus Prime. You can see that I think that the scaling here works pretty decently. And I keep looking over to where I have all my little extra figures here, and I have no idea why Cheetor is not there. I'm completely baffled by where he's run off to. But I think that the scaling, like I said, works pretty decent, and I'm happy with it. I just think that, for the most part, the figure itself, in terms of his Rhino mode, probably could have cleaned up a little bit better, I think. Articulation-wise, the head can kind of hinge up and down, and his mouth can actually open as well. So he's like, hello there, everybody. Hello, children. You can do that. The shoulders here can kind of move, and they can swing out and everything. But when you do that, it really does kind of break up a whole lot of the overall look on him. The other thing that's kind of weird is, like, the way that his arms are. I feel like it just, like, when you have them all collapsed in, it just kind of makes the arms look like they're just bowing inward, which is definitely weird on them. But you do have, like, some rotation a little bit there. The toes or the feet can move around. Those are on kind of like ball joints. The back legs here, these kind of attach, and then when you detach them, you can kind of move them forward. But you got the back legs that move. You also have the foot section here, which can kind of pivot forward and back, and then his tail can move them down. So not a ton of articulation in this guy, so you're just going to have him sit there. Which, I guess, hey, you could do something like that. And then, unfortunately, because this is kind of loose, I could tighten that up. I guess you can have a more pointed sort of ramming speed thing. I don't know. Like I said, I just kind of lackluster for me. Robot mode looks a little bit better, but it's still not overly spectacular. First, what you're going to want to do, this whole back section here, just detach this. This is going to hinge up and get out of the way. Here you can straighten out his legs and then bring them back, and they will lock in. Let's see, get that in there, and then you'll hear it snap into place. So you can bring that around, snap that into place, and then that hinges right there. Then come around here. This shin piece will extend outward. You'll hear the pop. So we can pull that out. It's very subtle, but it just kind of fills that in just a bit. You can detach this if it hasn't already detached, and then come up here to these upper arms, and these will pull out from the internal portion of the body. Just pull that out just like that. Take the head section here, lift this. This is going to collapse up, get that kind of out of the way, and then pull this piece away. Oh, sorry, wait, okay, you gotta bring this, bring these pieces out. The whole chest piece is not supposed to come off, so let's put that right back there. There we go. Pull that around, and then pull these sections out. This piece will be able to then pull back. Then you take this, open his Rhino head, tuck the horn down, tuck that in, and then bring this down just like that. Bring that back in like so. Kind of straighten out his arms and his legs. Now this section here, you want to hinge this around, have that straight on, kind of get these out of the way a little bit. And then this, you got little tabs on the inside here that are going to collapse in on his chest. So bring that up, and then you just line up his armpits. And get that there, give that a good push. Bring these bits around, that'll lock into place. This tail thing, you can like leave up or hinge it down, whatever you want to do, but push that all the way along the back. And then the feet, bring that around, rotate, tuck that in, rotate him at the arm, and then rotate his fist all the way around like so. Do that on this side as well. So open up the little panel, rotate his fist around, bring that in, rotate him here at the, I didn't get that all the way in. There we go. Get that there, and then rotate his fist all the way around like that. And straighten this out, bring these little pieces down, kind of play with those little shoulder bits, set them up, and when you're done, there you have him in his pretty beefy looking robot mode. And as I said, I feel like he looks better in his robot mode, but even still, there's some weirdness to him. For his weapon, as obviously you can see, he can hold it perfectly fine. It just kind of slots down into his little hands. And then again, if you really wanted to, you can come around here to the back. You can rotate that and you can peg that onto his back section if you want to. That's the kind of thing. It's kind of weird. He's got this tab right here. I don't know necessarily where that's meant to go. I mean, he's got this little thing right here, but that's mostly to lock that in. So I don't know what that tab is really all that intended for. Other than, I'm not entirely sure, but you have that. One thing I will say is that he has a very Night of Transformers The Last Night look to him. I don't really see a lot of people kind of talking about that aspect, but he definitely has that kind of bulky Night look that a lot of those figures initially had. Like that one, I forgot the name of it. The one that had two different figures that transformed into a dragon. He kind of reminds me of that. He cleans up pretty nicely, and there's not a lot of beast mode kibble kind of hanging out. I mean, obviously he's got his tail right here, but again, you can kind of tuck that and hide that underneath there. But with his kind of skirt piece down here, the bulkiness of his like shoulders, the armor bit right here, like I said, does have that look to it. Now, the part that I think is kind of weird on him, like I said, I do like the way that he looks, but I think that his legs are very stubby looking. It just feels like his torso is considerably bigger than his legs, and I feel like it's only marginal. Like if you added a little bit, it would help out a lot in terms of creating a presence for him, but as it is, it just kind of looks like his legs are stubby. The rest of him, though, I actually do like the way that he looks. I do kind of wish that there was some green. Granted, that's more of the cartoon sort of thing. Oh, you know what? I actually did forget one part. When you have this back here, getting these out of the way, there's little horns. I just remembered that. So pull these little horn pieces up, and then you can collapse this back and in. Oh, maybe. What's happening here? Get that inside. What's happening? Why are you not wanting to go back in there now? There we go. Clip that in there. So he's got those little horns. I totally forgot about that. I mean, either way, it doesn't really matter, because I don't understand why he's got two horns when they're both equal sizes, and his Rhino horn, the big nose one, that's a lot bigger than the smaller one that's behind it, but, you know, it is whatever. But I do like the way that he looks. Now, for size comparison, I don't recall, correct me if I am wrong, but I do not recall AirRaiser ever going into her beast mode or robot mode in the film. But again, I still think the scale works pretty decently, and I am still annoyed at the fact that I do not know where my Cheetor is, other than this is the deluxe Cheetor. There you go. So, you know, that works. I really like that guy still. And then here is Optimus Prime, so you can see that the scale, again, still works pretty good. Rhinox was a big dude. Granted, we only saw him, Cheetor, and Primal in their robot modes, and it was brief. Which, again, it doesn't bother me really all that much. As a big fan of the original Beast Wars cartoon, they rarely went into their robot modes, at least in the early part of the series. But I do really like this, and honestly, I might just put him with my Last Night figures because he looks like it. Love the head sculpt on here. Coming in to take a closer look, that is a gorgeous head sculpt. That is very close, but that looks really very nice. Articulation is tough to do, but I love the sculpt on there, and then how he's got the little ridges right there. Like I said, this is where I kind of wish maybe there was a little bit of green, but like, well, I mean, are his eyes? I'm trying to look. No. I mean, maybe if they put some green in the eyes, but That is really cool. The other thing is, as you're looking throughout here, there's a lot of nice texture. You can see that you got those silver bits right here, and then you got some bronze, which kind of highlights different areas like the abdomen and everything. You got the nice silver here for the chest. I do like the way that it looks. Definitely robot mode comes together a lot cooler looking than that rhinoceros mode, at least in my opinion. Of course, you got the bronze that comes down with the little skirt piece, and then you come down to the legs, and there's really not a lot of extra color in there. It's just that silver and gray kind of thrown throughout, mostly here in the knees. But overall, decent. Very, very decent. Now, like I said, the articulation for the head is a little bit tricky because it doesn't, you can't really get in there. It's almost like you kind of have to go like that. But just grab hold of his face and then just push it kind of around. So it is very stiff, but you can see that it is on a ball joint. The shoulders here do have hinges. Now you do have this little piece that can kind of get out of the way, so you can hinge it out. You can rotate it all the way around if you want to. You do have a rotation right at the elbow. You have about a little less than a 90-degree bend, it feels, there at the elbow itself. The wrist, as kind of part of the transformation, can rotate, which is nice to see. He does have a waist rotation. Now the tail kind of does get caught between his legs, so you can rotate that if you move that tail out of the way. The hips do move forward and back. This piece can move around as well to kind of get out of the way, and then you do have a rotation here at the thigh. I also really like how, one thing that's really cool is as it rotates, you can see a lot of internal detail really kind of showing a mechanicalness to it, which I really do dig. That's really nice. You have a hinge here at the knee, and then the ankles do have some forward and back, and then they do have ankle tilt, just because it's a animal leg, so you get a lot of extra articulation in there. In general, like I said, I do feel like the robot mode is where this guy shines. Unfortunately for me, most of my Beast Wars figures I keep in their beast mode, so that's why I don't really know what to do with this guy. But he's still a fun figure, still looks really cool. And even though he's a Voyager and fairly simple, he did turn out decently. Now, to transform him back, first, I always kind of forget this, but I feel like you have to rotate his fist around like that, and then open this. And I might have that wrong, but I'll adjust that as I go. Rotate that around, and then tuck this. Oh yeah, no, you want to have the fist kind of down like that, because there's a little tab that will come up, and you'll lock that in. So, as you do that, just rotate that around to where that little tab is on like his thumb, and then when you rotate that around, that will go up and sandwich and lock into place, and then you're going to rotate him at the actual elbow itself, and that kind of brings the front legs kind of into alignment right there. Get that out of the way, then come around down here to the waist section. You want to separate that and that, and then take this, pull this away from his armpit, and this is going to hinge down here, and this will tab in along the little side here. Get that there, and then there we go. Bring that all the way down, and you got little slots right here that locks that in, and then this kind of is going to collapse up there. Now these little hinges here, you kind of have to swoop these down and then push in to lock him all the way into place there. Do that on this side as well. Swoop that in, push that all the way. You got to make sure that that locks down. It does get a little bit tricky because you pull that piece off. No, we don't want that to pull off. So let's put that back on. You're not supposed to pop off. You're annoying me. So put that... Oh, my 22-minute timer is done. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but that's my dinner telling me that I have to turn over my chicken. So there we go. Alright, so we're just going to swoop that in. Maybe like that. There we go. Just like that. Okay. So now that's swooped in. And then that, we gonna put back right now. So, get that. Oh, maybe it would have been easier to do it the other way, because now I have a hard time seeing where this is going to go. Yay! 4 parts that pop off. Get in there. There we go. Alright. So there's that. That's swooped. Now, get that lifted up. And this piece here, you have to pull away. Come on. There we go. Pull that out. Fold out the head. This piece here will come all the way out. And then take these little horn pieces. Just like that. And then this comes over. And then you got little slots on the side here that these little pieces are going to come around. You get that all the way up. And then lock that in. Just like that. There you go. And then this sits there. There you go. Just like that. And then these legs, you want to take the shin, collapse those down, just like that. Detach the hinge piece. You'll feel it pop off. Just like that. And then push this piece up. And then you want to line up these because there are little tiny tabs here that are going to lock underneath once you swing this around. And that's the part that kind of locks his legs into place, kind of resulting in him not being nearly as articulated. So kind of just slot that in. Play with those a bit. Get the feet, kind of straighten out the tail. And then open up his face. Give me your face. And then pull that horn out. There we go. And there he is. And then you just kind of adjust a little bit. And when you're done, there you have Rhinox back in his beast mode. Ultimately, how would I rate this in terms of baseball? He's not a home run. I definitely don't think that he is. Transformation is okay. It doesn't really do anything overly fascinating. The beast mode is okay. Robot mode, I think, looks good. There are some issues in terms of the stubbiness of the legs on him. So yeah, definitely not a home run, but I'd give him a solid 2-base hit. He's a double. I would probably say. It's at most he's okay, realistically. And that's unfortunate because, like I said, for me, Rhinox is my favorite Beast Wars character. And truthfully, I feel just like the character in the film itself was really undervalued and underutilized, but truthfully, like half of the Beast characters were. Obviously, Optimus Primo got a good amount of screen time, and so did Airraiser. Rhinox and Cheetor, I think at least Cheetor said something. Rhinox didn't, and was just there and constantly swinging this around and beating everybody up. I mean, he was pretty badass, but it was definitely no rising of any beasts for the most part. And that's definitely how I feel about the figure here as well. Worth picking up. I definitely would get him. I don't think I would really stress out trying to find him. Eventually, he'll probably show up all over the place. Maybe that's why they held back on him for so long. But if you are looking for him, he is hitting various retail locations right now. So if you are looking for him, good luck and happy hunting. Or as always, you can do the real simple thing and go online to places like Big Bad Toy Store, Amazon, or even Entertainment Earth. For all of those places, I'll put links right down there in the video description, where you can swing on by and check out availability on him, as well as the rest of the wide range of Transformer figures. Don't forget, also as a special bonus for you guys, if you choose to go to Entertainment Earth via the link in the description, in addition to automatically getting free shipping on orders over a certain amount, you will also save yourself 10% off of any in-stock order that you place. That's a special deal that I worked out with Entertainment Earth to help you save some money, while at the same time showing your support for my channel. But beyond that, guys, that's about it. As always, I want to thank you all so much for tuning in and watching, and until next time, this is Optibotimus saying adios, au revoir, and auf Wiedersehen.